Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. We're with match number 3 with our mono-white soldiers. Yes, we'd like to play first. Keepable hand. We have a Hall of Triumph, the Mutavault, Brave the Elements, Dryad Militant. It's definitely a keepable hand. Gonna go ahead and lead off with the Mr. Militant. And Mystic first turn, which is fine. I think we'll just Mutavault here. Attacking with the Dryad Militant. And now Preeminent Captain now with this deck. I think Preeminent Captain actually goes better in another deck. This might end up getting the cut from our list, as it's been really coming out and not really doing much after it comes out. So I think this you might want to play like the Boros version of this with like Spark Troopers and Boros, like the Boros Battle Shaper. There's some actually soldiers that have high converted mana cost that you can cheat into play with Preeminent Captain. Here we have no other play, so we'll just pass the turn to him. Next turn again, we do have that Preeminent Captain or Hall of Triumph, whichever one we decide to put in, or Spear of Heliod. So Raise the Alarm is going to be our best buddy. All right, so it's going to be, most likely this is going to be the Jund Planeswalkers, which aggro can be very hard for them, and he might bring in some sweepers next round. But we just have to really raise some Mizzy Mortars, and we do have the Brave the Elements for that. So it's going to be Preeminent Captain here. And we're going to attack in with the Dryad Militant. And next turn we'll be able to cast a Spear of Heliod plus Boros Elite with the Preeminent Captain, unless he kills the Preeminent Captain, of course. He takes 2, so it's probably Xenagos. No, it's Polukranos that comes out here. So we get a Plains that's actually perfect, as we can Spear of Heliod. And so this is probably Jund Monsters. Spear of Heliod, and I can Brave the Elements, or I can just Boros Elite. It's just going to be attack in. And unfortunately, this doesn't trigger Battalion either. Oh, and that doesn't even... the protection for green, I played that horribly wrong. Because he can block it. Good thing he didn't block there, though. He could have actually blocked this because I misplayed it. But we have a Hall of Triumph next turn. He's at a 4 already. And Corsair Krufix, I do not believe is going to give him enough padding. It gives him a life, so he's up to 5. But I could draw into a lot of things here to get me out of this. And a Plains is actually fine, because this means we can Hall of Triumph. For white. And then we can activate the Mutavault. And swing in.
Do you want to go for this guy?
No, if an arm is already done, then it hits his torso. So if it hits, it hits torso. Okay, so.
Okay,
Which
so
the Boros Elite would be 6, so he's going to have to block that. He's most likely going to block that with the Polukranos. Or no, with Elvish Mystic. Block the Mutavault with the Corsair Krufix and take 4. And I'll still have 3 creatures left attacking with the next turn. Oh, he decides to drop the Militant. That's actually interesting. I think he'd just rather have the 1 damage because he can get that back. He goes to a 2.
See, there is aspects to that to this game too. So, mech factor, unoccupied mechs, a secret.
And yep, he just scoops. He knows he can't do anything. We would have drawn into another Plains and another Plains. So we're going to begin sideboarding here. And I'm thinking the good cards versus him. Banishing Light's okay, but I think Banisher Priest is better in this instance. Celestial Flare's not too bad either. I think this is monsters, not... Yeah, this is going to be Jund monsters, not really Jund Planeswalkers. So I think that Banisher Priest is better in that aspect. Launch the Fleet is definitely an interesting card. I think I might try it over an Azorius Arrester. I don't think Azorius Arrester actually hits enough stuff. So that's going to be my cut, will be the Arrester. Or maybe a 1-drop. Maybe the Dryad Militants are just not going to be as good because they get blocked by the Sylvan Caryatids. So on the play, maybe Dryad Militants are a little bit weaker. So I'm going to take out 2 Dryad Militants, and we're going to keep in 2 Arresters. Again, Celestial Flare can come in. Our sideboard is really good versus his deck. There's lots of things we could easily justify putting in here. But I'm thinking this is fine. Very good hand with Raise the Alarms and Obelisk of Urd. This is the reason why we built this deck with the M15. We got a Preeminent Captain as well. We'll definitely keep this. Stomping Ground, into play tapped, so no Elvish Mystic. There is a Brimas, which will be nice. Still no Sylvan Caryatid either, so I think the right play here is going to be a Precinct Captain. And if he wants to use like a Mortar on the Precinct Captain already, no Courser either, so this is really good now that we can protect it with a Brave the Elements.
So if your mech gets out, you can just press the eject.
But if you get a headshot, and freaking like the long guy.
See what he does here.
This guy.
So now we can Dryad Militant pretty safely and still have the Brave the Elements for a Anger of the Gods.
He has a headache. He cannot infiltrate.
His head didn't even hurt.
It's going to be Polukranos. Not too worried about Polukranos.
That's it.
As we can get an Obelisk of Urd out. Oh, not quite an Obelisk of Urd. We only have 5 mana. I think we just Soldier the Pantheon here. And again, keep up the Brave the Elements. So maybe instead of that Dryad Militant, what I should have done is went for a Raise the Alarm.
So you shoot, every 4 shots is 1 bay. So he only 3, so he doesn't have misses.
And now if he plays a land and tries to kill 2 of our guys with Polukranos, it's going to be Xenagos. We get a life here with the Xenagos. And I don't care about Xenagos too much. We can kill it off if we need to. There it is. I think we just go for it. I think we go for Obelisk of Urd. And keep back the Soldier of the Pantheon. No, we need Brave the Elements up still. Now our guys are huge, and we still have Brave the Elements. And he can do a significant amount of damage here, but I don't know if he's going to want to do that. And now with Raising Alarms, with Precinct Captains, with all of our stuff, we have some pretty big... Oh no, not a Reclamation Sage. Yeah, that hurts the Obelisk. That really hurts my line of play. Because now he can do a lot of damage here. Especially Xenagos. Foiled by a Reclamation Sage. He is coming with Polukranos. Another Raising Alarm. These are a lot less valuable now.
He's at a 4, but this guy can't, he's at a 3. He can't shoot.
I kind of just want to Brave the Elements, but unfortunately that will give Polukranos free range.
So sorry.
But I think that's the right line of play.
He's 2.
Okay.
Evan, is there any way we can combine your attacks together or do something like? Can I
Take out that Xenagos.
attack action or anything? I can.
What's attack? What's both attack?
No, right now.
Well, that's what I meant to say.
Okay. 6.
6. I hit.
Head.
10.
Head.
So the D6.
He's going to ultimate price off the Precinct Captain. I'm glad he's showing me what...
I feel like it should be a D6 though.
I'm glad he's doing it right now rather than afterwards.
One. Why rolling twice?
Oh,
Why roll twice?
because it's 2d6 damage. 4.
And we can raise the alarm in response to his attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so my turn.
Aim for the head.
Especially if he tries to go Plukernos. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can actually divide 3 damage. He can wipe my board.
Roll this.
Yep.
But it's just another Xenagos who's in his hand, so that's unfortunate.
And then +1.
And +1.
Roll on the 2 6s.
4 mana, and he's going to go for Plukernos on all 3 of them.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Which one should I go for?
Wait.
Torso.
Right arm is where their guns are at.
Yeah.
Okay, so right. We specifically aim for the guns, not
Mason.
That's what that class is designed to do.
And here he comes to attack with everything. This is where I raise the alarms and kill
Okay, so right arm.
the... Or do I care? Do I try? I could try to even still sort of... I don't know here. I think it's just going to be block the Plukernos, block the Reclamation Sage, take 4.
Both attacking. They're all gonna.
And I'd love to hit another land here for another raising alarm. There we go. So now we can flash in 2 raising alarms, but Xenagos is probably going to get us. I mean, our only hope is to really draw into another Obelisk.
Stop calling them. Stupid. Okay.
Come on, roll 2s.
Why not ones?
That doesn't count.
That straight up counts.
Okay, so I take 1
Roll
torso damage.
4. You take that.
Okay.
A
4.
torso damage. What was it?
Okay. How many hits do you have on your thing left?
A torso.
And at this point, I think the only way we can win is just by blocking a Plukernos.
2.
I mean 1 because that was 2.
Okay.
So I take 1 damage from my torso. What's that?
So, because the first one.
And here comes our other raising alarm in.
Either way, you want to go the other way?
It's like trample though.
You can ignore
Azorius Arrester is kind of good. it makes Plukernos
2.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
But you have
not be able to hit
I only took 2.
It's damaged.
Alright, now it's this turn.
next turn. But again,
Oh, you got it. I'm getting hit.
No, because you got hit 3 times.
No, you kept targeting Evan.
Yeah,
Last
now.
turn, you got hit twice.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, the turn before, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have none left now.
let's say I block 1, so I need to leave 1 back.
But that
I need to leave 2 back.
so keep it on there.
Wait, doesn't repair after like that?
No,
I have it. We can go to the
He will block the Mystic. That's fine.
there's a ton of scratches.
But again, yeah, Xenagos is just going to be too much for us to deal with.
behind us.
It's going to go on to game 3. We will be on the play. I will go completely all out with all the 1 drops and 2 drops.
He has 7 life on his head though.
I just barely hit him before on his
No, you for 3. You didn't call your thing. You didn't call it, so you missed it.
Alright, so these two are going to shoot light lasers. Oh,
And I'm down to a 1.
stop rolling the dice. Thank you for
Another Elvish Mystic out, and it's a plane. All right, so next game.
He's running with.
Geez, Return of the Ranks does seem pretty good. And now that I know that he's having these... Well, Reclamation Sage just completely gets rid of, like, Banishing Lights. I don't know if we even care about, like, Obelisk of Urd, Spear of Heliod. I don't want to give him any targets with that. I don't want to get blown out with a... So Celestial Flare might be good, but I just think Return of the Ranks will be good. And Banisher Priest, Brimas, Preeminent, Raising Alarm, Azorius Arresters.
3 to your torso. What's your torso at?
But what about his left
Launch the Fleet still seem good. Brave the Elements still seem all right. Since my curve is going down, I'm going to drop a land, just a 1 of land, put back in 1 of Azorius Arrester. We're going to submit the deck, and hopefully that Azorius Arrester doesn't bite us. Yes, we'd like to play first. I'm going to keep it, but it's not the greatest, but I can see some pretty cool stuff coming out of this draw. Just the first turn Dryad Militant's going to be great.
It falls apart.
base? Okay, I'm putting who has on.
And hopefully we draw into a 2-drop.
D6 or D8?
You throw out an Elf.
Come on, 6.
Hey, that dude's right here. He's a good part of it.
There's another Preeminent Captain.
Yeah, put him back. He's a 3. Right there.
Oh, bud.
He decides to block. That's interesting. I'm okay with that.
Where'd you hit him?
And he's got a Caryatid now. So there's a soldier Pantheon. What we're going to do is just the Preeminent Captain. Hopefully we draw into another soldier.
Ian, can I talk real quick? Okay. I put everyone's suit if Evan gets the good guy's suit.
And Courser going to... Xanagos going to come out here. Ay, ay, ay. At least we had to first strike that off.
I'm gonna
Wait, should my shield be regenerated all the way full by my next turn? Or
The next battle you're going to charge.
the next trick.
It only is
So I'm
at.
talking
And actually we can kill Xanagos here now with the Azorius Arrester.
by myself, because
Just smash the cockpit. It's not going to be drivable.
I've been hitting the head.
That's the cockpit.
Okay.
so is it no good?
Don't rip off this head.
So here I am going to...
Parts will be good on it.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't I just do
he's
this?
going to have guns and stuff.
Couldn't I just
Attack with Preeminent Captain on Xanagos.
Talk to the engineer. Engineer has, well, later on, not right now.
I'll carry that head around then. Just bash through it and use it as glove.
And throw in this other Preeminent Captain.
I'm being honest. Does everyone agree with that? If I can take 3 things off that and put on to Evan's suit, I'll repair everything.
Why you gotta put it on him?
Take out the Xanagos.
Because Evan needs some cool things for his awesome battle suit. Evan's
Don't think they're...
right now.
Oh, you
Actually,
guys are-
Soldiers of the Pantheon is
I'm being serious. You guys all.
better to put out here.
How about just text
We get blown out by an Anger of the Gods, which I might not want to...
No, I kicked you.
Well, we'd be blown out if we didn't have Soldier of the Pantheon anyway. So why I did that is so I can actually target it with Launch the Fleets
Your turn.
next turn. And let's cross our fingers that we can actually draw into another soldier. And he's got 4 mana to his name here. He could definitely do like the...
7 rate.
Another Xanagos. Plugranos could come out. Courser Crewfix. All those are problems for us. Nightly's Disciple is actually quite good. It gains him back 3 life. So again, I'd love to see like an Arrester here. Raising Alarm is okay. I put 2/1 eyesight white, but they have to attack. Narrow creature attack, put up 1/1 white. Soldier token and creature on the... I think it's worth it just to go for it here.
We have issues with ours. That's why
Because we can target all of them.
Take one shot. I'm the...
And we just have to try to blitz him.
Okay.
Okay, so is it our turn since these two? So where's this guy's face?
He's controlling the best right now.
Yonder.
we don't know. We don't know. Don't ask stuff that we don't know.
Okay, so
I
I'm
know
going
my
to
ship that's
attack
not pulling up the other day. You showing up his friends.
Or hit.
Left play. Okay, so I this one.
Unfortunately, it's not a soldier we can cheat into play.
You can make it so it's a miss or a left arm. So just left leg.
Yeah, I
And
want
so this one.
But this is going to do a lot of damage.
5. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna move to a 3. So on
When
his
he's on
turn,
his face.
he has to make a check.
Sure, he's going to block a Preeminent Captain and a okay, he's a Arrester and take a bunch of damage here.
The other guy.
I feel like it should be like a 12 or higher.
He's down to a 9. We have 8 damage on board. Again, he can cast anything in his hand. Another Caryatid, which blocks, which is exactly what he needs.
Sorry, you took more.
And ultimate price off of the other Preeminent Captain. So that is going to be an issue for us. What we're going to do is, I think that we still do attack in, and we do the 2 damage.
Price left. Higher.
Well, this guy I'm killing. Okay,
You
so
can take him down. I will believe you.
now it's AI.
Now AI. So this guy's up.
He can't run away. He would've said so.
Well, he's gonna finish you. That's what he's gonna do.
He's gonna finish this.
Yeah, 2 Barrage Brimas wasn't the turn before. That would have changed everything. He's down to a 7.
Okay, let's see what it does to your face.
If that's a 4, I'm going that.
Oh, like, okay, that's not damage.
And again, no Nightly's Disciple. That's all we need to avoid him hitting.
3.
I hope he's got a bunch of Reclamation Sages in his hand.
Dead then.
Straight up
Come on,
headshot.
Evan. Go for this. We can kill these guys.
Now your head's gone.
Nope, that's a Stormbreath Dragon. That hurts.
There's medium laser.
But Brave the Elements will probably do it.
Everybody loves
Okay.
it so much.
Light laser.
I think he blocks Brimas.
7
Did I hear?
Yeah, call.
Oh, I don't want to give him another draw, but I might have to.
Can I repair the one you
So I attack in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can block the Brimas, so I attack him for 5. And the next turn,
Small laser should do D6.
yeah, I don't accomplish anything after that either. So I think it's just going to be passing the turn, and we'll raise the alarms end of turn. Yep, unfortunately he didn't look like he drew any Reclamation Sages, and we took out all of our pumps, and then we had the pump hand with the Raising Arms and Launch the Fleets. So we need to draw into another Launch the Fleets. Would be great. Another Brave the Elements, which we can actually name red, would be great.
Torsos where all your systems.
Ah, now Pelucranos.
So every time you try to make an action,
And a Mystic.
above a 10 on a d20. Well, you're at your, it does not.
So raise the alarms.
No, your functions, but now your systems are all messed up and tore up.
So I have to roll above a 10 to do anything?
To do an action. To control your mech.
Okay,
So your next action is successful.
I'm gonna punch him.
Okay.
And he's going to tap his Store Breath. I think that's going to be game. That is going to be game with the Brave the Elements. Because now he won't be able to block anything, and Brimas will actually get in there. So, alrighty. See what we would have drawn anyway. It's not going to matter. Another Brave the Elements would have been fine, so we just Brave the Elements. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep.
Okay.
He's dead.
Oh, this guy.
That guy. Or that guy.
No, I want to search this dude.
You can't search his mech, you have to get out of your mech and search.
You
Get
don't
out of
die,
your mech.
get
Get
out.
out of your mech.
No, I get out of my mech.
Shoot him.
And name green, and this is game.
But this guy's dead.
We'll kill him.
Fine.
What is this?
That was dice kill.
Fine.
Who are you shooting?
So now he cannot block. And that's 10 damage.
I'm gonna shoot this freak.
Okay. Above a 10.
Alrighty, not bad. We'll go on to the next game. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.